Be strong and courageous. Be who I've called you to be. Joshua needed to understand at this point who he was. And the Lord was pointing out to him that he was to be strong and courageous, that this is what God had appointed him for. This is what God had appointed him to, strength and courage. And God needed him to rise up and be that thing. He needed him to rise up and be strong and be courageous. And when we are asked by God to be strong and courageous, that's where the rubber meets the road. Because then we have to decide, do I trust God? Do I trust him? Because if I don't trust him, it's going to be pretty tough to be strong and courageous. Because he said, I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. But do I trust that? That's really what boils down to. Can I trust that? So you have to know who you are. Joshua had to know that he had been appointed for such a time. He had to know this with all of his heart. And he had to know who his daddy was. And he had to know when his Father in heaven spoke to him and said, I will not leave you. He meant it. He meant it. He's not going to leave. He's trustworthy. He's good, and his plans for us are good. We're the ones who mess up the plans most of the time, not him. Shake your fist in the face of fear. It has to go. The only way fear can have any control over your life is if you make an agreement with it. It cannot control you if you refuse to agree with it. So you say, no, I will not be afraid. My Father is a good Father. He did not bring me here into this land to see me fail. He did not put me up here to see me fail. He is a good daddy, and he's coming with me. I'm not going anywhere without him. Sometimes as a nurse, when I was working in the unit, people would be dying in front of us, and we would do things that humanly you normally just wouldn't want to do. If you had to stop and think about what you were doing, you would never do it. But in that moment, your adrenaline kicks in, and you just start doing whatever you have to do to keep the person alive. Something becomes more important than your fear. Speaking resurrection life over women is more important than my fear of standing in front of people speaking it. I was the girl who would shake at the knees to do a book report. But perfect love, the Bible tells me, casts out all my fears.